Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duck Bricks. I'm Chris, and growing up, Avatar: The Last Airbender was one of my favorite shows. But despite that, the LEGO sets based on the show were honestly not that great. They came out during a time period where LEGO was cutting a lot of corners with cost and trying to make builds big without having to spend too much money on the design as well as the stability, and with that came minifigures that were a little questionable. Sure, some of them did look like their animated counterparts, but others are pretty far from the mark, and the graphic design just doesn't really fit LEGO standards that we know and love today. Well, until we get official LEGO Avatar: The Last Airbender minifigures, the designs have appeared in Fortnite, but until we get them as official physical products, these are the next best thing. Minifigs.me has come to the rescue because they have sent me a set of custom LEGO Avatar: The Last Airbender minifigures coming in these adorable little boxes, each containing an exclusively printed minifigure representing characters from the show, some of which we never even got as part of the official LEGO sets. And so, without further ado, let's jump into a showcase of these custom LEGO Avatar: The Last Airbender figures. Okay, so here we have 7 mystery boxes sent to me by minifigs.me, and you actually can create your own unique minifigure by scanning the QR code, which is really cool. I gotta try that out. First of all, I have to say this might be the most adorable minifigure packaging ever. They're just saying hello, and I cannot wait to see what's inside. So the way that minifig.me does their minifigures is basically, to my knowledge, they take existing LEGO minifigure pieces, but just specially print them and make them feel like they're their own custom things. And so I cannot wait to unbox these because honestly, I have tried to be as in the dark as possible about these minifigures in terms of looking up pictures online or seeing what they look like, so I'm going in completely blind. I don't even know what characters are included here, although given that there's 7 of them, I can probably guess which ones are going to be here. So I don't know which one is which one. Let's just kind of open them one by one and see what's inside. Starting off with this one, oh my goodness, no way. The first one I open is Avatar Aang. Of course, there we go, and it looks like he actually has an alternate face as well with the avatar state, but let's just first take a look at this minifigure. This is super cool because they even have printed the back of the legs there, which is very, very interesting to see. They've printed the sides of the arms, and I love the face printing. It definitely isn't quite the LEGO style, and I probably would prefer it if it was a little bit closer to the LEGO style, but it is still its own cartoony style. It clearly is meant to fit within the cartoon, which is pretty nice. The quality of the minifigure is quite nice as well. I still can feel the printing on the minifigure, like the texture is a little bit off, but it definitely does make sense given the method in which they actually did this, and they even were able to print the inside of the back of the leg to make it feel continuous, which is super, super cool. Obviously, I am just unboxing this now, so I'm not entirely sure how well these will hold up to wear and tear. I'm not going to try to move around the legs too much because I'm worried that some of the print might come off, but it looks pretty solid to me. Obviously, the quality is not quite as good as a standard LEGO minifigure, but it is still really nicely detailed, and I'm a big fan of how they were able to pull off the graphic design on the character, and it definitely is a big improvement over the original minifigures as well. Should he maybe have included mid-legs to represent the age of the character? Potentially, I could see that happening, but I also can see the regular legs working out just fine. And let's take a look at that alternate face there. So if we remove this head right here, you can see that it does have that LEGO logo, so they are printed on LEGO pieces. But that is what the avatar state form looks like. His eyes are glowing. Of course, the arrow is glowing as well. I think it would have been nice to get maybe some bit of printing on the back of the head here to show the arrow continuing backwards, but overall, it's a really nicely done minifigure. And I just love the way the arms are printed. I feel like if LEGO were to ever do official LEGO Avatar minifigures in the modern day and age, this arm printing is gonna be hard to beat because that is pretty much perfect with his distinctive orange sleeves there. And overall, what a perfect one to start off here, just as our first minifigure to look at. Moving on from that, though, let's just take a look at the next box, and I mean, if this one's Katara, I'm gonna lose my mind, but I guess we'll see which one it is, and opening this up here first. Okay, so we have Zuko here. Hello, Zuko here. This is pretty nice. I actually really like it. Oh, and it comes with a fire element as well, so we can actually be fire bending. That is pretty cool. So Zuko here, it definitely does, I think, suffer from the issue of printing yellow or bright colors on a darker color of outfit. Obviously, this is printed on reddish brown, so the yellow just isn't quite as bright, and obviously official LEGO sets do have that same problem, but if you can look past that, it is still really nicely detailed. It's definitely the best version of Zuko we've ever gotten in minifigure form, because that original one, yeesh, that one, I don't know what they were thinking with that. And I also like how they've done the expression here, because the face is closer to a standard LEGO minifigure face, where you have the expression which isn't super exaggerated. Only one expression here, but I think it does work out quite nicely for the character. And then yeah, you can see the printing continue along the sides of the legs. No arm printing, but it wasn't necessarily needed. And I'm going to have to go back and look closely at Zuko's outfit. I was always picturing him wearing a dark red, but I think the dark brown or the reddish brown works totally fine, especially because there is a dark red underside of the printing for the legs here. Overall, I do think that with the yellow on brown, it is one of the weaker minifigures here, but it is also still really nicely produced. The skin tone just also isn't quite right, but again, LEGO themselves does make these mistakes, so given that this is a third-party company custom printing this, I'm actually pretty happy with how this one turned out. Moving on to the next box though, let's see what's inside this one. This is a lot of fun. All right, we have Azula. Whoa, that is awesome. Okay, this is really cool. Azula is one of my favorite characters in all of Avatar, so this is super nicely produced. I love the printing on the arms here with the dark red armor, and yeah, the dark red on the dark red, or maybe is that dark brown printing on dark red? It's an interesting shade that, yeah, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about how it works on the figure. It's a color that we don't really see with LEGO pieces normally, but I feel like it does fit the outfit really nicely. You have the black boots, the brighter red underside, and then you have the dark red armor on top with the yellow printing. Again, this does suffer a little bit from the yellow just not being quite as bright, but I feel like for Azula's clothes, it actually works out pretty nicely because she did have kind of a more muted color scheme, and that expression, oh my goodness, that expression is so perfect for the character. It is really, really nicely done. The hairpiece using Nia's from Ninjago is actually a pretty good one to use as well. I'm actually pretty happy with the choice of hairpiece here. And overall, another really great looking minifigure to add to the collection. All right, moving on from that, let's open up our next box here. Oh, okay, and here we have Sokka. This is this is so good. I think this is one of the best ones so far. Of course, he does have his trusty boomerang printing on the sides of the arms. That's a pretty simple torso, but it works out really well. Really, the only downside I have here is just the coloration of the skin tone. Again, doesn't quite match the face, but everything else is pretty nicely produced here. And then same for the color of the robes here. The printing on the dark blue, I feel, doesn't quite match. Like, it's still a little bit brighter, but the graphic design is incredible. I really do like the way that they've pulled this off. You even have printing again on the back of the legs, which just makes this feel even more specialized. You're using the black Ninjago Klaus hairpiece, or Kanan Jarrus black hairpiece, and he does have an alternate expression on the back there, so there's a more serious one and there's a smiling one. I think I gotta give him the smiling one because obviously that's what I remember most of his character from the show, so that is super cool to see. And I do like the skin tone they did pick for the character. I feel like it does work for the minifigure quite well. Just maybe not the most accurate in terms of the color scheme matching, I think, here. Like, right, the color scheme doesn't quite match the sand blue that they use for the torso, but it's close, and given that it's third party, I can give them some slack. All right, 3 to go. Let's see what's in this one. Oh, perfect. Okay, so now we have Katara. So I guess the ones left are Toph, and I don't know who else. Maybe Uncle Iroh, we'll have to see. But here we have Katara with a bit of a water-bending burst here. Obviously, you have a really nicely printed arm here. The hair loopies are really nice too, and you actually have the little silver parts captured on the top. It is a shame though, those are kind of covered up by the hairpiece here. No alternate expression for Katara, but I think it is really nice how you just get so many different details for this figure. Again, the color matching of the sand blue onto the legs just isn't necessarily quite right. There are a couple of things that I probably personally would have changed around for that, but overall, I am really happy with how they pulled this one off. Super nice detail wrapping around the back of the legs as well, and just a really nicely produced minifigure. And yeah, few complaints on this one. Let's keep on moving to the second to last one. Okay, next up here, let's see what's in this box. And oh, interesting, this one actually is packaged separately in its own Ziploc baggie for the hair. I wonder why that's the case. But this is Toph. Okay, so this is a nice one, and she does have an accessory as well, but I'm going to take the hairpiece out first. I wonder why they packaged it separately. I'm starting to think, oh, interesting. So they actually painted a pink hairpiece black. Does this piece, I feel like this exists in black. Maybe I could be wrong. I might actually be wrong on that. Maybe this doesn't exist in black. But anyways, they seem to have painted or colored printed this in black, and here you have a more serious expression on one end right there, but then on the other end you have her laughing, which again is just a really, this really captures the character, I feel, where she's like pointing and laughing in that one meme. So I really like the printing on this minifigure. And this one might be the nicest printed one yet, because you do just have a plain tan torso with very minimal printing. The tan does match up with the actual coloration of the torso a lot better than some of the other colors here. And you have the printing on the side of the legs, printing on the back of the legs, which is absolutely crazy here. And then you can rotate it around and get that expression, which I feel like I'm going to have to display them all with the laughing expressions or the happy expressions, because I feel like it just fits the character so well. She does have this Earth Kingdom accessory here as well, so that's a nice specialized print. Mine's a little bit off-centered, but it's not that big of a deal. But overall, this is another great minifigure to get. Love the detailing, love the printing, and super cool to see printing on the back of the legs as well, which is very, very special. Well, that only leaves one more mystery box to go, so I wonder who's inside this one. Oh, there he is. Would you like a cup of tea? This is Uncle Iroh, one of the most iconic characters and definitely my personal favorite character from the Avatar universe. Oh yeah, this is done really nicely. I had my doubts about how they would be able to pull him off as a figure because of the rounder stomach and the unique body shape he has, but they really did it nicely. You can kind of see the printing suggesting the stomach there. You actually have the printed arms, which is a little bit more special. They didn't need to do that, but they really just went all out on the detailing. Only one facial expression, but I feel like it works. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing, I feel like the facial expression maybe could be a little bit closer to the overall look and feel of the character, but it's not bad. It's definitely close. And it is close to how LEGO prints their own faces, but the legs are so good. I love the way the legs are done. You have the strap, you have also got the actual dark red printing for the boots, and then you even have it continuing onto the back of the legs here. This is really my first time dealing with custom minifigures, so I'm pretty pleased with the output. Sure, the printing could be improved a little bit, and they definitely do feel and look like customs and not official LEGO minifigures, but for what they are really nice. And now, let's bring the gang together. You have it, the full gang assembled, and now I think it's time to talk a little bit about pricing. So here's the deal. Basically, each of these minifigures is worth around 19 to 20 US dollars on minifig.me, or you can buy all of them at once for $115. And given that these are pretty nicely detailed, fully custom minifigures, I'm honestly gonna have to say, the price doesn't seem too bad to me. Are there things that could definitely be improved about all the minifigures when it comes to printing, when it comes to accuracy to official LEGO designs? Absolutely. I definitely do feel like these are not perfect. There are a lot of things that I did want to point out in the review to make it an honest review of how I felt about how some of the printing looked or how some of the graphic design was done. But overall, I am really happy with the way that these minifigures were done. I especially love Aang. I feel like he is the best one out of all of them. Toph is also a really good one as well, so that's a really great minifigure to get. But overall, I am really happy and overjoyed just to have Avatar: The Last Airbender minifigures in my collection. Obviously, for legal reasons, I don't think they can call them Avatar minifigures, so I think they're called Element Benders on the website, but you can go check them out if you want. I do have a special link in the description if you want to get these minifigures yourself. And overall, super cool to see these figures actually make their way into a custom minifigure portfolio. Fingers crossed that LEGO will make their own official minifigures one of these days, but until then, these are the best you can get. Thanks to minifig.me for sending over these figures for review. Of course, all the opinions expressed in the review are my own, and that is why I did want to be as honest as possible when talking about the printing and the detailing, but overall, I am truly very happy with these. I love Avatar, so obviously I am very biased, but it is very, very cool to see the full gang in minifigure form, fully detailed as they should be. All right, with that, we've summed up our look at the custom LEGO Avatar The Last Airbender minifigures. You can check them out down in the description below, where you can actually use my affiliate link if you are interested in getting these minifigures. I hope you enjoyed our look at these adorable LEGO characters, and here's hoping we'll get official LEGO Avatar The Last Airbender sets, maybe sometime next year when Season 2 comes out. A man can dream. That's all for now. Thanks for tuning in to Duck Bricks. Be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon, and bye for now.